We are going to do some low to the ground movement. My equilibrium, maybe that's the word. Like I feel a bit imbalanced. And I mean that physically, as in I feel like I'm a little bit off on this side of like my body. And then also mentally and metaphorically. I can see where some things in my life kind of need to like straighten themselves out or whatever that hand motion looks like. So I'm not going to fix my whole life right now, but I'm going to slow down and kind of find a little bit of balance with myself. Hopefully that should be easy. It's my last name. So that did nothing. It's okay. Haha. All right. We're going to go into a child's pose just to get started. And as soon as I came down, I could feel this whole side of my body, which is wild. And I know I'm on my soapbox right now. If you want to go to a child's pose and ignore me, that's totally fine. But I've been waking up first thing in the morning, and I love an early morning Pilates class. But something about getting in the car first thing in the morning, and I do have to get onto a highway to go where I go. And oftentimes, because of the certain classes that I take, let's go to the child's pose. I bet I could still run my mouth in a child's pose. Ooh, I'm gonna use my block for this. Nice. Okay. But most of my life, I have not been what one would refer to as a morning person. And I could see all of the benefits of becoming a morning person, but being a morning person starts at night. And I just so happen to be a night person. So those are really conflicting. I don't know when I would sleep, like lunchtime in the evening. But then I wouldn't be a morning person anymore. So I don't know. I guess you have to pick one. Or maybe not, but maybe that's kind of like the thing of being open to change, you know? Maybe I've always been a night person. I did a lot of later night activities. But in this era of my life, I want to do things in the morning. I love morning people. I went to the grocery store today at 8 a.m. and I was looking for flat, shortcut green beans, aka Italian style green beans. And there was this sweet little old lady, and I just looked at her and I was like, you know, I just feel like you can help me. And she said, I think those are Italian green beans. As soon as she said that they were called Italian green beans, the Italian green beans in the can lit up to me in the aisle. And I just looked at her and I giggled and I said, oh my gosh, you did so good. Thank you. And we had a good little thing. We said, have a great morning. I don't know how to explain it, but that doesn't really happen at 5 p.m. or 2 p.m. or even 11 a.m. That's morning people energy. And I love going to the grocery store. I'd even say like 11 p.m., like right before they close, which is probably when they wish I wouldn't go there. But there's not that many people there. And I love going places sometimes when there's like no people. Because I love people. I think they're fun and cool. But like sometimes people, oof, you know, teach their own. But I'm gonna reach my hands up over my head really slow. Oh, do I have space? Not quite, but it's okay. I'm gonna grab behind my back and pull all that open. I cannot stand that sound of like a sniffly nose. I think that's one of my pet peeves about kids. Sometimes kids are cool, but like when they when they have stuffy noses, it's like everything they say is just kind of like, can you get with the program? And I get it. People have stuffy noses. I've been an allergy kid. But I was in the fresh market one day, and call me a dickhead for this. I get it. I just was really trying to be helpful. But this guy, it just sounded like he couldn't breathe. And he was probably teenage, early 20s, somewhere like that. And he was very friendly and chatty, and he was having conversations with me, but the whole entire time, like every single thing, like in between syllables of the words, he was hitting me with like a, and I was struggling. And I get it, that says something about me, but there are some days where I'm really just chill and like nothing can bother me. And then there are some days where I'm just a little bit more wound up. And honestly, even on the chill days sometimes, I think I want stuff to flow. And like when it stops flowing, I'm like, flow. Anywho, just like what I need to do right now. Flow. Instead of just sitting there and running my mouth. Okay, anywho. I don't have a use for this block right now. So I'm gonna find some bird dogs just to feel out the whole way through. That felt good. But I promise I didn't say anything douchey. I mean, you could take it as a dickhead if you just are not okay with people being blunt, but sometimes I am pretty blunt, and I've realized that, and I don't always notice it. Anywho, so I just told him after, we were at the end of our interaction, and I saved it till the end because if he felt uncomfortable, then we were just going to part ways and, we'd forget about it. But I was like, it sounds like you might have some like sinuses. If you do, this will really help if you just take your knuckle. And I was like kind of showing like this and genuinely go up your face. Like there's in like your nose and then on your forehead, like go all across your forehead, like the sinuses, like the mucus just like will sit in your face and your like forehead, your cheeks, just like massage your face and do this on your nose, like on the side of your nose, and kind of just hold it. And I didn't, go as in depth, but I just kind of showed him what I was trying to show him. And I was like, it's not going to, heal your allergies, but I promise you, like, you'll be able to breathe. Because personally, when I'm like that, that's annoying to me. Like, I don't enjoy when I have the sniffles, just having to sit there and all day long. Like, it's not a fun feeling. So, yeah, I said that. And for a second, I felt a little bit anxious about it. And I could still see where, once again, like, you would be like, gosh, you didn't have to just, like, let him know that his nasal whatever sounded dramatic or something. But, I was just being my version of helpful, and some people would call that not helpful, and that's fine. I get it. Not everybody wants my help, but anywho. But yeah. Oh, so back to being a morning person. Yeah, so the issue, I think, where my equilibrium's feeling a little bit off partially is because I really want to have this like slow, chill vibe over there. But over there, she just wants to be in motion. Like she is like, I was thinking about this metaphor. There's a little piece of fuzz on my foot and it's kind of cringy and gross, but excuse me. It was kind of bothering me. But they say, I don't know who said it, but it's a quote. And basically it's, you can't control the waves, but you can learn how to surf. And I am from an island, actually. Surfing wasn't really a thing I did. I did take a surfing lesson. I don't know if it was just a day. I think it was just a day. And I think I might have managed to stand and go on a very long, large board. There wasn't a whole lot to it after that. That's a lot of work. Also, I was very beat up. I didn't know that I was supposed to like protect my like stomach, I was just wearing a bathing suit all day long. Moving on, details. But like surfing is a whole sport, like it's a whole skill. And to think of the quote like that when you actually, I guess, understand somewhat maybe like how surfing works, it's like, oh, I have to learn how to do that. Oh, okay. Like it's not just like paddle your arms and stand up. Yeah, sure. You have to have core strength. You have to be balanced. Like you have to have some equilibrium. There's like more to it than that. And I guess it's like there's certain base qualities that one must possess in order to get into their, surfing journey. Maybe a little bit of arm strength so that way you can paddle yourself, confidence, a little bit of balls, the willingness to just like stand up. Maybe we'll X out balls. That feels like misogynistic, that's the word. We'll move it to audacity, goal. Goal. You need to have the goal to get up. I don't know. But anywho, it's just, I think part of it is learning how to, there's two things that I'm picking up here. And one of them is, so you have to be patient, number one. So actually, I'm about to unpack this in a super over, maybe even unnecessary way because it sounds fun. So, first of all, you have to be willing to put yourself out there and try something. So you have to be willing to go get in the water in the first place because you're not catching any waves on the beach. That's the first one. You have to understand that there are sharks in the water potentially. There's jellyfish, there's currents, and you have to be willing to go and get in the water anyway. Number one. Do I understand my metaphor entirely? Not yet. But can I see it and can I feel it? Yeah, it's cooking. Okay, from there, you have to be patient. You have to swim out, get your way out into the water. And you got to get to a position where there actually are waves. I'm sure there's maybe a step in there, but I'm trying to keep up with myself. But once you get out there, depending on what the waves are like, you're not going to catch every single wave. I mean, you really can't. And you would have to, how are you going to surf a wave if you're going to get on every single wave? You have to ride your wave. So you have to wait for your wave. And, you decide. And sometimes, you might try to get onto a wave and you might miss it. And it could be because it just wasn't your time. It just genuinely didn't work out. Or, you didn't paddle hard enough. Whatever it is, maybe you can always blame yourself or you can always think of an external excuse. But you have to wait for your wave to come or a wave that you want to get on. You have to decide, I want to get on this wave. And I think that's it, is your wave is going to be the wave that you decide is your wave. You could decide a wave's going to be your wave and it might not work out. But if you want to get on that wave, you have to put yourself onto the wave. You have to get into the motion. You have to do the paddles and the whatevers. And I know I'm using a surfing metaphor as somebody who doesn't surf, so you'll just have to bear with me when we get into the actual surfing part, but I'm going to keep going. And so you have to be patient, and once you decide you're going to get on the wave, you have to be willing to really get into it. You need to paddle your arms. So you gotta I think you have to lock in, kind of, sort of. It's I'm getting on this wave. This is gonna be my wave. I'm paddling, and you're paddling your arms and you're taking big strokes. This isn't there's some waves where I feel you don't, you might have to get a little bit into it, but I feel and maybe that comes with skill. People can understand how to get on it just right to where they can kind of effortlessly stroke their arms and then pop right up because they know what they're doing. Because there are some times where, you watch people and it doesn't look like they were chasing after this wave. They just kind of caught it and they got up in there and it works out. That's super metaphorical. But aside from that is there's oftentimes
that period where you are kind of chasing after the wave a little bit. Like if you want to catch it and it's not just there, like you have to get on it a certain way or like get in it. Once again, I don't actually do much of the surfing. I just witnessed a bit of it. So I'm doing my best here. But there's a bit that goes into that. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna paddle my arms. Like, you don't get to sit there and hesitate and decide, am I gonna get on, am I not gonna get on, am I gonna get on, am I not gonna get on? Like, you have to lock in and go get on your wave. Like, you gotta paddle your arms and you gotta make the decision, I'm gonna go get on this wave and I'm gonna surf here and this is what I'm gonna do. And once you make that decision, you have to go in and go get on it. And then once you catch it, I guess the thing is you just ride the wave. But like you could ride the wave and like lay down the whole time, which is giving like me when I climb a tree and I'm already up there and I might as well just like sit up and enjoy the view. But instead I just like lay down and I hold on to the tree and I hug it for dear life because I'm scared I'm gonna fall off. But anywho, I guess you have the opportunity there to kind of boogie board, or you can get up and ride the wave. But I think, and I do believe I'm correct in saying this, is that you cannot ride the wave the same way laying down as you would be able to if you were willing to get up. Like if you're willing to stand up and use everything into it, I believe that that's when another piece of fuzz. I need to vacuum the floor. It's I guess there's like a little bit of dust and pistachio, which is the cat. But like you're not gonna, in my opinion, from my understanding, be able to do all of the crazy zoop, 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 that you see people do if you're not willing to get up and do it. Like you have to be willing, I guess, to fall in order to do the cool, exciting, whippity things. Like you always see them doing the whippity things when they're standing up. You don't really see them doing the whippity things when they're laying down. So I guess you got to be willing to get up. So the entire time, like you have to be willing to fail. Like you have to be willing to potentially miss the wave even though you're fully locked in and deciding that you're going to get on it. And you also have to be willing to fall even though you're really confident in yourself the whole time that you got it and you're doing what you're doing and you're fully, engaged into keeping yourself in the position to keep moving. Like you're not planning to fall. If you fall, you fall. It's water. It might not, like you might eat it just a little bit. It just depends. And I also think that there are some waves that sometimes where once you get on that thing, I guess you could fall, but if you made the decision to get on there, you kind of need to finish it. Like if you fall off in the middle of that, you're gonna get eaten up by the ocean. I mean, you're probably like you'll be fine at the end of the day, maybe. Like I don't know, you could like get whatever, but like I think that maybe it's like willing to take on bigger things. Like inexperienced surfers aren't, if they have sense, gonna go into super big choppy, or not choppy, but like in my brain I'm thinking like, I'm thinking the big fall waves that they talk about where it's like the fall surf, if I am saying this correctly, where the waves are like super big and what, I don't know if that's, where you want to learn how to surf. Like maybe you want to learn how to surf where the waves are a bit more comfortable, unless you're just that guy, I don't know, or gal. But it just seems like you could be setting yourself up to put yourself in like a really not good position if you try to hop on certain waves that really aren't for you. Like you could get yourself hurt. And that's where, they tell people like, hey, the currents are bad or the waves are too big today. And yeah, maybe I didn't need to get that specific. It's okay. It's just like the waves are too big today. We'll keep it simple there. I don't know what time of the year the waves are small. I think when it's cold, I feel like the waves are, I don't know, maybe it's just like I think it just is a recurring thing. I don't know. But it's, it was just kind of interesting to me to think about how much outside of just surfing there is to the surfing, because you need to make sure you're hydrated. You need to make sure you have nutrients in your body. You want to have, like I said, some good, I guess, prerequisite skills, like maybe decent balance. It's like those surfing classes where they do them on the beach before they even put them in the water, where you just stand up on the board. I feel like it's propped up on something and you just stand there and practice balancing, because learning how to balance is just like a whole thing. And maybe that's the metaphor. I don't know, maybe I'm like coming full circle, is that my equilibrium's off. I saw this quote, I can't control life, but I can learn how to surf. And I'm kind of picking up on the fact that in order to learn how to surf and do all the bloop, bloop, bloop things, there's a couple things that I need to be willing to do. And I need to practice or / like work on my balance. I need to be taking better care of myself. Probably need to have a bit more audacity and confidence, because if I'm able to catch a wave, I probably want to ride it. I don't want to just And I was also thinking about something too, is that like when you really know how to do that and you're out in the water, I have no clue what direction this is going in, but I was thinking about it when I was making soup earlier, I was cutting the vegetables to prep for the soup. But if you're in the water and, sometimes they say like, oh, I, like saw something in the water and I just caught the wave and I like, rode it in. That's going to be way faster to make your way back to where you want to be than to have to slowly like pow your whole way. Like if you know how to like catch a wave and ride it and like let it help you, instead of having to do everything yourself, like how to kind of go with the flow. And nobody said that, like for example, if you saw a shark in the water and an opportunity came for you to just shoot your way back into shore, or like closer to shore, so that way you could get out of the water because you don't want to be around the shark, you're probably not going to try to get up on your feet and do like all this crazy blah, 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 blah stuff. Like you're just going to do your best to get in. And I think there's another metaphor there that I feel like I'm going to be thinking about for a while. But yeah, this is just like what my brain does
all day, I think, is any little thing that happens, I feel like it's connected to everything. Everything. Yes, it's all connected. I sometimes take a little while to figure out what the connections are, and I don't know what the connections are. I just know that I talked out my metaphor and I had a really good time. And I do feel a bit more balanced. I'm gonna go and I feel like I want to do like a side bend of some sort, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about doing that, because I'm kind of feeling drawn to this child's pose here. And maybe that's exactly it. Maybe that is all one needed. Sometimes I feel like I want to find something different to do. Like you get bored of doing the same thing. But I
Guess if it works, it works. In time, I guess you can find other things that work, but in a time where you need to do what you know can get the job done, go on ahead and do it. Tell if I want to go back over here. I kind of want to do that scorpion stretch. Which I guess it is a good thing that I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere and I can do both of those. All right, coming forward. Need space. All right, I have some space. Oof, that one was big. I don't know if the other side is going to be as magical because that was pretty life-changing. Not quite as intense, but still life-changing. nonetheless, maybe not life-changing, maybe, I don't have a word. What a new one. As much as I don't have a word. Anywho, open arms and slowly bring them overhead. Like grounding. Oh, it does. It does do something. Sometimes I feel like I just need to chit chat, you know? And maybe no one responds, but I think I say enough that it's all right. When I stop talking to breathe, it balances out the silence. That would back up things I've been told. So, anywho, I'm going to come to a seated forward fold. Little workout. Actually, that's probably going to work so much better. I just don't want to get upside down too much, but maybe that'll be good. Just kidding. I'm going to do a little downward dog pedal of the feet. And then a forward fold. promise I'm making my way to that forward fold. Just in my own time. I've been learning a little bit. Well, I've been learning about so many things, but something I have been scratching the surface of and would like to dive deeper into is Kundalini Yoga, if I'm saying that correctly. And I believe part of the main points of it is the consistency of doing, it's like the same regime every day. Like you have the same poses and you do them consistently every day. And I feel like I've already kind of worked this into my life with the most bare minimum things of all time, but imagine how, much more, that's a good word, balanced I would be if I maybe had a better routine. Because I wake up in the morning and I make my way to the floor. But I do different things every day because I don't really create a ton of routine. Like it's all on what I feel like. And then sometimes I feel bored because I'm like, I need change. Like I need something different happening in this routine, which makes it to where I will disrupt the routine, or like I will purposely not do the same things because I want to do something different. I'm hearing like an outlining issue here that maybe sometimes I just need to do the same boring thing. And it doesn't have to be boring. Well, like maybe it's boring sounds like such a bad word. I mean, it's good to be bored. Being bored is good for you. It stimulates things in the brain. But I don't like to think of it as boring. It's just kind of, because it's, maybe my fear deep down would be that I'm boring. That if I'm doing these same things over and over again, I would be a boring person. And I don't want to be a boring person living a boring life. I want to be fun. I want to have fun. But maybe I have to have a little bit of boring time in order to have fun. In order to really have those highs, you have to be willing to enjoy the lows. And instead of thinking about it as like this labeled thing of like high is supposedly, good and low is supposedly bad. Some people love boring and cannot stand all that extra smextraness that some people refer to as fun. And I get it. I watched a video of a bunch of people at a rave the other day, and the first initial part of me felt FOMO of like, they look like they're having so much fun, but they look like they're having so much fun. I don't know if I would have that much fun. I think I would need quite a bit of substances in order to get to that state. I don't know if just being in like that many people like that would be considered fun to me. So like, once again, to each their own, and we have to find what works for us. And maybe if I'm boring to people, actually, I guess that's so fair. Like, why be so worried about what other people would think about your vibes? That's so human. Like, it's okay, but but still, it's just, you can probably be the funnest person of all time, and somebody would think it's boring because you're so fun that you almost make it look boring because it's like a normal thing for you. It's like, what do you do for fun? Like, that's just what you do on Tuesday. Every day is like that. Do you ever chill? And maybe that's their version of, I don't know. Everybody's different. But like, in a way, we're so similar, but gotta stop somewhere. I think I'm done talking for the day. I think I'm gonna go listen to some tunes and make soup. I have ordered minestrone soup from Olive Garden for 2 days in a row now. And it's all I want is just that soup. The breadsticks are not as good as I remember them being. I just got a random hunkering for that soup, and so I've ordered it for the past 2 days. And the breadsticks were a bit, dismissible. No offense. But I remember when I was younger, I probably could have eaten like half a dozen. I could have eaten a whole dozen. I would have loved it. Now, it just, yeah, it's different. But anywho, I decided that instead of getting a plastic to-go container every day and paying $9 for a bowl of soup, which after I bought all the ingredients is not that expensive, but I'm sure I'll make out cheaper somewhere between the gas and the this and the that or the whatever, and I'll feel better about it because, I did it myself and I made it and all of these things. But yeah, I'm gonna go make soup. And I am so very happy and grateful that I have the ability to, on days when I feel off and I just need to slow down and take care of myself, I can make those decisions and I can say, hey, I'm gonna hang out at home today and do slow yoga and make soup. And also wash my bed sheets and get caught up on laundry. But, anywho. So, I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the chat. If you actually know things about surfing, like if you've actually, surfed before and you want to clean up my metaphor, or you, thought I was getting there, you want to sharpen it up a bit, I'd love that. If you thought the whole thing was off, let me know that too. That's fine. All right, cool. Well, I hope you have a great day, and I appreciate you and your time. Anywho, like this video if you like this video, of course, and come back for more, as I would love to always have you. Okay, bye.